Hello and welcome to this edition of Africa Speaks. Today is the 4th of October 2014, and today we've got quite a bit lined up for you and also to our Muslim brothers and sisters around the African continent. We're saying Happy Eid to all of you and hoping that you're having a fantastic Saturday or a fantastic holiday in this case. Now, today we've got quite a bit lined up for you, and in this case I'm talking about a gentleman called Clifford Owusu, who is a Ghanaian native, but I guess now a US citizen living in New York, and he's going to be speaking to us much about the sensation that he has turned out to be. If you've watched most of his YouTube clips, and you know, the reasons why Africans report to work late, the reasons why we see a lot of Africans taking long to pick up their phones, then you know who we're talking about. So we're going to be speaking to him shortly, but first let's take a look at some of the top stories from across Africa. President Uhuru Kenyatta is due to appear at the International Criminal Court on October 8th, and back home, scores of Kenyan MPs are preparing to travel to The Hague in his support. President Kenyatta, who faces charges of crimes against humanity that killed 1,200 people during the 2008 post-election violence in Kenya, denies the charges. The ICC has on several occasions postponed the hearing on his case for lack of credible evidence, with some witnesses withdrawing from the case. President Uhuru Kenyatta is also set to travel alongside heads of state, Paul Kagame of Rwanda, Kaguta Museveni of Uganda, and Ethiopia's Prime Minister. Thomas Duncan, a native Liberian living in the US who caught the Ebola virus, is now in a serious condition in hospital in the first Ebola case recorded in the United States. The flat in Dallas where he lived before has been isolated and is being cleaned by hazardous materials specialists, and the 4 people living there have been moved to a private home offered by a volunteer. Hotels, flats, and others had refused to offer them accommodation before a private residence was offered. So far, over 3,400 people have died in West Africa in the worst Ebola outbreak in Africa's history. And still keeping it with West Africa, Abubakar Shekau, leader of the Boko Haram militant group fighting to carve out an Islamist caliphate in Nigeria's north, is telling the world he is still alive. In a 16-minute video released this week, Abubakar Shekau mocks the Nigerian army's claim to have killed him. Nigeria's army, however, still maintains that it did indeed kill him, suggesting that Boko Haram may have cloned another Shekau with manipulated images, or that the video was recorded before his death. In the film obtained by AFP, Shekau stands on the back of a truck bearing an anti-aircraft weapon, firing blasts from a machine gun into the air. He then reappears standing in front of 4 masked and armed fighters and camouflaged vehicles displaying the black flag of Boko Haram, whose name roughly translates to Western education is forbidden. Shekau insists that Boko Haram has established an Islamist caliphate in the towns it has captured in Nigeria's north, and that the group is ruling its territory according to strict Sharia law. And finally, in sports, Kenya's Dennis Kimeto became the first man to run the marathon in under 2 hours, 3 minutes, as he set a new world record in Berlin on Sunday. The 30-year-old Kimeto trimmed 26 seconds off the previous best by compatriot Wilson Kipsang, set last year in Berlin with a time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, 57 seconds. Kimeto, who is from the Rift Valley region, the traditional breeding ground for many distance running greats, battled fellow Kenyan Emmanuel Mutai in the closing stages, eventually shrugging him off the 4 kilometers remaining, and received a hero's welcome on arrival later this week. And those are some of the top stories from around the continent, and we'll be keeping an eye as well on Uhuru's case and how that turns out and who exactly is going to be accompanying him, among them some heads of state from the Eastern Africa region. Now, on to Click, and I'm sure you have heard, or at least you have watched some of his clips. Clifford Owusu, a Ghanaian native, living in the United States, is commonly known for all these clips he posts on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And today we're going to be hosting him. But first, let's just have a sneak peek into some of the work that he does in case you haven't watched him before.
I'm gonna give you some of the best clips that you're missing out because you're not following me on Instagram and Facebook, all right? Check it out. Yo, what song is that?
Wait for it.
Guys will be like, but as soon as they find one, they be like, ladies, if the guy you're speaking to didn't get you anything for Valentine's Day and he had the nerve to ask you, isn't his love enough? Well, you better ask him.
Now if you're proud to be an African, scream and shout on top of a voice, hey, 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 and make you do what you know they do. Keep on the win, make you know they lose. Get out of back, be a man. Don't be posers, be a man. Jubilate, make yourself happy. Join your worries and party. Join me and let's party together. Party they go, party they go, party they go, party they go. From east to west, we go. Party they go, party.
All right, listen, I gotta tell you this. There's something about you that's different from any other girl I've ever spoken to. What's different about you? You wanna know? Oh, don't ask questions. Everything about you. You want more details? Your head, your shoulders, your knees. Girl, you're special. Guys say the most outrageous things when they get caught cheating, especially when a girl hits them with, oh my God, how can you do this to me? I thought you loved me. A guy will look her straight in the face and be like, you can't say I don't love you just because I cheat on you. Hey, Chris. Yes, Dad. Your mother wants to know if you want wache or jollof. Hey, what is do you want wache or jollof? Okay, shut up. I heard you. There's nothing worse than having a crush on somebody that you're afraid to tell. And what's worse is when you go on Facebook and you see that they're posting about looking for love. You be like, hello, is it me you're looking for?
And well, there we go. That is Clifford Owusu, young Ghanaian native living in the US, and now he joins us live via Skype. I'm sure he's going to pin me for calling him young, but yeah, he is very youthful. Cliff, thank you so much for joining us on Africa Speaks, and it's great to have you live from New York. Sorry we had to wake you up early. I know it's about 6 a.m. in New York, but well, tell me about yourself. Did you grow up in the US? Were you born there, or did you relocate while younger?
I was born in Ghana. I came to America when I was 6. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the story. I came when I was 6. I don't remember much about Ghana because I was too young. Mm-hmm. Then I came straight to New York. I came in the middle of winter, so I remember that. I remember coming and being very cold. That's all I remember.
Right. And so you moved with your family to the U.S. Do you still live with them, or?
That's the thing. My parents came first. My dad came in the early 80s. Then he came and got my mother. Then I was with my aunt for a couple of years while I was in Ghana. Then I came to join them when they felt like it was, I guess, good for me to come. Mm-hmm. But yeah, my parents are here. I'm here. We're all here. But it's just my parents and me. You know, I'm the only child, right?
You're an only child.
It's the best way to be.
Does that say a lot about you, you know, when it comes to what we see on YouTube, you being an only child? Does it play part?
It shows that I can play very well by myself. That's what it is.
All right, so you've become this huge YouTube sensation, and I would like to know what exactly inspired you into that.
So that's the thing, like, it goes back to being the only child. When I was young, my parents, like, really sheltered me. I was very, close with my parents. They didn't let me do much. So I had to either find a way to entertain myself or to sneak out the house. So I said, you know what can I do to, not become a bad kid or, do something more creative. So when I was like in junior high school, I started like writing music. I started writing poetry, songs, and all that. The comedy came on later on. I used to just be real funny in school, but I didn't do anything like this because there was no social media. I didn't have a camera back then. I was too young, but I was very creative. So as I got older and older, that's when I started doing a lot of comedy stuff. I had this one comedy CD, which was really bad, but it was like the world to me.
Right.
But that's what it started, yeah.
Okay, so from that point in time, when was your first upload on YouTube? The very first one?
My first upload actually was uploaded to my best friend's YouTube. It was just me dancing around in his house. And it was real popular because nobody was doing it back then. Like African dancing, I was dancing to a Ghanaian song. Then he put it on YouTube, but YouTube wasn't that big back then that he uploaded on Facebook, and it took off. So after that took off, that's when I created my channel. I said, you know what, there might be something here. And that was like back in 2007, I believe.
2007.
Yeah.
And most of your clips, or at least most of what we watch on YouTube, is content that is inspired by African music. And then there's a lot of dancing in there. Why so? Do you just love to dance, or do you think that Africans just love to dance?
Yeah, I think I love to dance personally, but I also do think that Africans love to dance. Like, I'm a very happy person. And most times, well, all the time, when you're dancing, it's because you're happy. I don't know people who dance when they're sad. So I like to express a lot of my happiness through dance. That's why the cell phone thing, the getting ready to go out, that's all just happy time. And it's real, like all this stuff is real. I really do dance around all the time. I wake up dancing. Trust me.
You wake up dancing. All right, so I hope that didn't happen today because I really woke you up so early. Now, tell me about the ideas. You have all these ideas that you put into the work that you do and post on YouTube. Some of them have to do with getting a visa or an African, qualifying for a visa, why it takes so long for Africans to pick their phones, or why we take so long to wake up, or why we take so long to even get to work. And it all goes back to the same thing. We are African. So, but what exactly inspires these ideas?
See, most of the time, that's the good thing. All the content that I come up with is always natural. I don't really sit down and, try to write down anything, because when you do that, people can tell that it's not authentic. So most of the time, especially with the cell phone thing, that one's my favorite story, because I was driving home from work, and then for some reason on iTunes radio, they started playing Zoblazo, and I was like, oh my God, I love this song, the song I grew up on. And I was like, what can I do to bring this song back out? And at the same time, my best friend was calling me, right? But I couldn't pick up because I was driving. So I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. So when I got home, I just shot the video, the same thing with the getting ready. I was actually going out that day, and I was dancing throughout the house, and then I took my cell phone. That's why that video, why it takes so long to get ready, it's not clear, because I really didn't take it serious. I just took my cell phone, I put it right there, and I just started dancing, and that took off. So everything is just always natural. Something I'm going through, or something that happens. The thing with the visa, that was actually written by one of my friends. That one is more, outside the Clifford Owusu dancing thing, because that was actually written. It's a script that we did with the visa.
All right.
Actually, yeah.
Great. And in case you're watching us now, we are live with Clifford Owusu. On Twitter, you can find him. What is the Twitter handle of yours, Cliff? I don't know how to pronounce it. Kappa what?
Kappa Cinco. It's KAPPACI.
Kappa Cinco. Right. So, yeah. All right, you can get him on Kappa Cinco on Twitter. But now, in case you want to ask him any question whatsoever, you can use the hashtag #AfricaSpeaks, and we'll be able to get those questions and ask them to him live. Today, we're hosting YouTube sensation Clifford Owusu. On Twitter, you can find him on @Kapatsinko. That's according to what he said. And yes, you can actually tweet him and ask him any question you want to ask him. I've got a question here from Hilary Itela, who is saying, Clifford, you're one talented madman. Keep up with the good work. And someone else is asking, have you considered doing something with Ikenna from Nigeria?
Oh, it's a good question. See, the thing is, I'm trying to work with a lot of people. That's all these talented people, and the answer is yes. Hopefully, opportunity opens up, and I would love to work with actually a lot of African comedians because I'm big fans of a lot of them. So the answer is yes. Yes, whoever you think I should work with, the answer is yes. Okay, they should contact me though, because it's better that way.
Okay, now let's move back to you as a person. Are you as funny off of camera?
I'm actually funnier off camera because I like to regulate my YouTube page. If you watch my page, it's very clean. Everything is I call it well-dressed entertainment, meaning no cursing. I'm always dressed well. But off camera, I really get to just give it 100%. People that don't see me off camera think I'm crazier than on camera because I can be whatever, So yes, the answer is yes.
All right, now knowing you're funnier off camera, I'm thinking you've got a career outside of what we see on YouTube and all the dance moves and everything. What exactly do you do outside of what we see on YouTube?
Okay, and it's funny because I'm a human resources manager, which is a very serious profession, which actually makes no sense to the other side of Clifford Owusu. So a lot of people like to call me Superman. Like when I'm at work, I'm Clark Kent, and then when I come home and shoot my videos, I'm Superman. So yes, I have a very serious career.
So you're a human resource manager. What company? What does the company do?
It's a non-profit Jewish organization in New York City. It's a community center. They do a lot of amazing things, and it's a beautiful place to work, actually.
Wow, great. And what is the one thing that you probably detest about Africa or Africans? Do you think that the fact that you've spent a lot of time in the US, or you're now a US citizen, there's certain things that you really detest about Africa?
Nothing, actually. I love everything about Africa. Everything. Even the bad is good to me because that's who I am. So every culture has good and bad, and we take it as it is. Let me tell you what I do love about Africans. Okay, that's a better. Let me tell you.
Right,
Africans, we are born to be great. Okay, because we have that African blood in us. And most Africans always strive to be the best, no matter where you are, what situation, and our parents, instill that in us. Like we have to be great. So I love that about Africans. We always take it to another level. Yeah.
All right, and there's a lot of Africans as well who would like to do exactly what you're doing, have the serious side where they go to work during the day and then probably have the fun side of them that is also income generating. So, and you're doing exactly that, but down here probably people might be taken to be a little bit unserious. So you're either doing one thing and sticking to it and not mixing up personalities. But what do you have to say about that?
So that's the thing. Everybody has something that they do outside of work. Everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Okay, some people just like to pick up a basketball, go play basketball. Maybe you like to go play football. But the thing that's happening a lot with, I don't know if it's our generation or just humans in general, when they hit a certain age or something, they feel like they have to stop doing what they enjoy doing because I'm too old for that. That's a problem. Like I'm 30 years old, I have a serious career, but I can still put that aside and say, I'm going to do something that actually makes me happy. So you can't stop doing a hobby just because you're a certain age. You just got to do it. And if you're lucky, you might never know. That side thing might be something that might be even bigger than that serious role that you have. So just have fun. Nobody really cares.
Right.
That's a lot of people think that everybody's watching. Nobody cares. You be happy. Like that.
All right, we're in the year 2014, and I know this is a little bit cheesy, but do you think that the Western world still regard Africa as the black continent?
To some extent, yes. But the good thing now is because of social media and because of, people like me who like to show the brighter side of just, Africa, things are changing. They still do think that, when you go to Africa, you'll catch something, or the worst thing I hear is, if you go to Africa, you're going to ride on lions and stuff like that. They say a lot of stupid things, but we're trying to change that. We're trying to show people that there's so much more to Africa than, and the bad thing is, what TV shows here, they always show them starving kids and all that, but the continent is so rich, but we're perceived as poor, and we have to change that. It starts with us, it does.
Right, and when was the last time you visited Ghana, which is your native country?
Yes.
Or are you even planning on doing that anytime soon?
I was there in 2011, after almost 20-something years, and I loved it. It felt like I was going to somewhere I'd never been. Even me, because I've been here for so long, I was expecting something and got something totally different. And something I learned that I'm here living now is when you go there, people don't have the most, they don't have the greatest thing, but everybody's still happy. Everybody's dancing around, everybody's living life. And I just realized it's because they're just looking at the brighter side of life. Over here, we stress too much, but over there, everybody's just happy. I'm telling you, they're dancing on the streets. And I'm like, this is why I'm the way I am. It's in the blood. It's the African blood living inside of me.
And knowing you live on the other side of the world, and back home, there's a lot that happens. How do you keep tabs with your content? Making sure that, this is something that every person who comes from Africa, or everyone who has been in Africa is going to associate with?
See, that's the thing. When it's natural, there's always going to be people relating. It's come to a point which I'm very happy that it's not only just Africans watching my videos. A lot of people start to relate, especially when I do the African dad thing, because in a household, if you have parents who are strict, you have parents who expected the greatest from you, but didn't want any nonsense, everybody can relate to that. Anybody can relate to, a song playing and them being happy and dancing to it. So you just gotta do things that you yourself, if you watch, you say I can relate to this. There's a lot of stuff I do. I watch it and I never put it out because I'm like, Cliff, this nobody's gonna like this. So I really screen a lot of my stuff so that when you watch, you can say, man, this guy, he's a little bit too dramatic, but I get what he's saying.
All right, so I'm going to give you the last word to all your fans out there. Some of them are even asking, why do you concentrate on video and not audio? But I would like to give you the last word, and probably you can add that onto, respond to that as well in your final remarks. Speak to your fans across Africa and across the world.
Okay. Hi, first I'd like to thank Kenya, all right? Kenyans show me so much love. It's amazing how much love you guys show me. And I just want to say thank you to everybody and anybody who has ever clicked on any video that I've done. Because without you guys, I wouldn't be relevant. Because when when you do these things, there's two real important things. It's about being creative and being relevant. But being relevant is the most important. If nobody's watching, it doesn't matter how creative you are. So I just want to thank you guys. It means so much to me because my only goal in life is to make people happy and smile. And you guys are spreading it every time you share a video, every time you like a video. You are helping my mission of just making the world happier. That's it. That's all I want to do. Okay, and if it gets bigger, we thank God. And if it stays at this level, we still thank God. So I appreciate you guys so much. And why I should, what was the question? I should concentrate on audio instead of video? Is that the question?
Yes, that's the question.
Because, whoever's asking that question, because I look good on camera. That's really it. I look better on camera than just hear my voice. Don't you think so?
All right, you just love being seen.
I love being seen. I want you guys to see.
All right, thanks a lot, Cliff. We do appreciate the time taken.
Thank you.
And I wish I could keep you on longer, but I don't have much time left.
It's okay.
But I do appreciate the time taken to speak to us, to speak to Kenya, to speak to Africa as well here. Let us know about who exactly you are. And so now you get to know Clifford Owusu. He is an HR manager outside of the funny, YouTube sensation that he is. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for the feedback. And now that you know his Twitter handle, you can direct all the questions straight to him. My name is Joy Doreen Bira. Thank you for watching.